Oh my goodness gracious. This story, we just talked about it. You and I talked about it, but we talked about it on the show prior to that when it first happened or when the news first broke about this particular shoe from the guys at MSCHF and Lil Nas X. It was the, the Satan shoe is what they call it. And I guess we put the clip should be up now from the original story, but essentially what you have is probably the most controversial aspect seems to be the fact that the sole of the shoe based on an Air Max has actual blood in it. The blood of MSCHF employees.
Yes.
That seems to keep coming up as the most controversial aspect, but it's got controversy all wrapped around it. I mean, the idea of it was to shock you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it turns out it has shocked people, but it has not like the attention coming at it. You were looking at the videos earlier today, and it's a lot of dislikes on this stuff. It's not a lot of, it's not an overwhelming amount of positive attention wherever anybody has covered the sneaker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can agree to that because we can look it up. We had evidence there. Now, as far as attention in general, it looks like his song, which is very in line with the sneaker, is getting a lot of views. And that's a little bit different. So why don't you just click on the Sneaker Life video? Of course, we talked about the Brad Hall video, but this video is 20,000 thumbs up, 33,000 thumbs down. Whatever that means to you. It's got a lot more views than this individual Sneaker Life typically has on his channel, 865,000. So it has captured the attention of people, which is the intent of such a company. Mm-hmm. They are a marketing and art and marketing firm. They figure out how to get messages spread wide, spread loud.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. And this is number 7 on trending, and Brad's video is number 8 on trending. Brad Hall. And if you click on the Brad Hall video, his is not to this. Yeah, it's to the same degree. It's like a 50-50 split. Now, typically, a creator with a fan base is already pulling some percentage of likes in the like to dislike ratio thing. In this case, it's a 50-50 split as well. So there's obviously there's tension around this topic.
Yeah.
For people, I know you like this. You like the jeans.
Outfit.
Yeah, you like the jeans and you like the white socks. And what about the tones in the room, like the carpet and the hardwood? And no, he thinks about all of it. I mean, obviously, dude's a genius.
Yeah.
We're talking about
shout out
Brad Hall. So he's gonna come on the show. He's gonna He's gonna take Otis's spot. I didn't talk to him yet, but he's gonna come on the show. He's gonna take Otis's spot, and he's gonna become what was the title we were looking for? He's gonna become the chief growth officer of Lou Later. He doesn't know this yet.
No.
We're gonna invite him on to at least for one episode, be our chief growth officer. Anyway, so when the first thing broke, I said to you, and I don't know if you remember this, I said, I don't know about the implications of this. I said, I remember the Jesus shoe, obviously.
That we did.
Yeah, I remember receiving that. I remember the video. And at the time, I had been a little skeptical, or I had been a little bit curious about Nike's response to the thing. I don't remember what I said in the video, but I was just saying this when we in the last episode referencing the Lil Nas X MSCHF collaboration. I was wondering what Nike was going to feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they kind of let that one slide. I mean, I don't know if they let that one slide. They may have put out a press release saying we're not affiliated. Probably. This time around, they took it a step further. Nike escalated the situation. And that's the key for the update today on this story. Nike is suing MSCHF, which is weird because this headline here on The Verge says Nike sues over Lil Nas X's unauthorized.
They just want to include the name.
Yeah. No, well done. Done. Addy Robertson. Shout out. Like I know that grind. I know that grind. How do you get the words in? I know that grind.
Yeah, the keywords.
So this is actually complicated, this thing about the lawsuit, because here's an item that's been customized. You can't stop somebody from customizing an item
Right.
and selling it. However, that might not matter because you're Nike and you don't like the look of something or you feel this having a negative impact on your brand. You throw the lawyers at it. You say, let's play ball.
Mm-hmm.
You say, you got any of those guys? You go, okay, you got a label. How big's that label? Here's us. This is who we are. We're Nike. We got a few dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be more than yours. And they keep applying pressure until... Now, the funny thing is, they've been joking about it. Lil Nas X himself been joking about it. MSCHF been joking about it. MSCHF put out a T-shirt. I know you couldn't find it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Vin sent it to us. MSCHF put out a T-shirt called Lawsuit or something. Maybe it's not official what Vin sent us. Before I go ahead and quote that, I don't know why you couldn't find it. Because now I'm curious. Let's see where he was, what the URL was. He was on like some sort of MSCHF web store, and the T-shirt was titled "Legal Fees." Is that such a thing that exists? What is this website? Man, they have so many websites. They have so many websites. Yeah, go to look. Is there any on here called Legal Fees? No. Maybe just type MSCHF Legal Fees T-shirt on Google. Legal fees. Yeah, there you go. Did you get it? Oh, they're teasing a legal fee. So they went into action real quick. And they have the actual lawsuit on a T-shirt, which, of course, begs the question about whether or not, like, how prepared they were. Now, it takes nothing to throw together a shirt like this, right? The design of it, I mean, they don't physically have the shirt. The latest in the newly initiated Nike versus MSCHF legal battle, MSCHF is teasing a legal fees tee adorned with an image of the first page of the recently filed Nike complaint. And it is in the process of potentially giving away the 666th pair of the allegedly infringing Satan sneakers. Okay, so here's the issue. Here's what they're going to say at least. There were people who misunderstood the promotion as having some type of affiliation with Nike. Mm-hmm. There were people saying, I'm not with this message. They saw the endorsement with Lil Nas X and they just assumed there was some sort of Nike collab going on. Nike is going to use this evidence, this variety of social media posts in the complaint. They're going to say, look, if there was no damage done, then why do we have all this evidence? Why do we have all this messaging, all this broadcasting? By the way, I'm not... See if you can find the posts. Somebody was saying that John Jones made a post, but he may have deleted it considering that it didn't align with the reality. But it probably was on Instagram.
Oh, here it is.
16 hours ago. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to burn all my Nike shoes. You will never catch me in that SHIT again. Click on that. Click on that. You realize Nike has nothing to do with this. Yeah. So maybe show the replies. See if there's any replies after that one. Interesting. All right. So I don't know. He probably saw and knows at this point now that there's no Nike affiliation. If he disagrees with the customized sneaker, Nike is the wrong place to place your outrage in this case. Mm-hmm. Depending on what part you're outraged by. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what's so confusing about the tweet is that you could have a Lil Nas X or MSCHF supporter who could tweet the same thing because they're angry that Nike is suing them. This is where this gets so confusing with brand and branding. Mm-hmm. Is if you show a celebrity holding up a Nike sneaker with blood in the sole, some people are going to perceive that as having been or having something to do with Nike unless there's some sort of large disclaimer. By the way, I'm not saying that's me. I'm not saying that's you, the listener, but I'm saying some people, obviously, that's what took place. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that Nike's going to cite. And I don't know if they're going to have success or not because there's all kinds of versions of customizations of goods that you would want to have a place and to exist, and you wouldn't want to have gigantic brands out there policing anybody who wants to modify or improve a version of their product.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very complex. And and actually I was reading a little bit on this. A lot of experts don't even know how it's going to play out and what the consequences are going to be as far as setting a precedent. But as it is right now, it looks like it's still remaining some bit of a joke to the MSCHF guys, but that's their whole thing, right?
Yeah.
It's all a joke.
At what point did you think Nike took it serious? Was it the blood?
I honestly think it's the Lil Nas X collaboration. I believe that if MSCHF just did this sneaker the way they did the Jesus sneaker and they just sent it to a handful of influencers and people just posted videos on it, the perception that it had something to do with Nike would be less than when you had the promotional photos looking like an endorsement.
Right.
Now, granted, the lawsuit is targeting MSCHF and not Lil Nas X by the looks of it.
Yeah,
but
46 million views in 4 days
on a music video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a message. That's a signal.
So the key is how much damage can be done here? Like how much pressure can Nike apply? What is their demand? Do they just want the stuff taken down? You and I already were talking about how 665 of these units are already in existence. They already been sent out. There's only like one left, so they can't really destroy the goods. They can, I guess, take down the web page, come to some kind of an agreement. But then also going forward, it seems like for MSCHF, the hottest products they've done have been these Nike sneakers, at least in terms of press. You had the Jesus one and this one, and you've kind of relied on the Nike Air Max as being the delivery method for whatever the statement happens to be or whatever the viral aspect or design modification, customization happens to be. But you're right. I think another key point that people have referenced about the blood being in the sole has also taken things to another level as far as the analysis of the thing is concerned. When we were following up with the guy who made the original video, I can't remember the name of the channel now, but you just had it open. It's still on trending, so it's not going to be hard to find. A Sneaker Life did a follow-up video and threw the sneakers out in the trash and then kind of like wanted to eliminate his affiliation with the thing.
Yeah. Because
he got so many dislikes, but also just appears to be conflicted over the whole thing. It's really weird where you have an environment in which everybody is competing for attention. And it's becoming harder and harder to capture people's attention. That you're having to push having to push on buttons more aggressively than you have had to in the past to elicit a response. And each time we escalate the thing, it requires a further escalation the next time around. And you wonder where that goes. You wonder where that leads.
Yeah.
You wonder where you get. Because there's a division that takes place. Like in some cases, those like-dislike ratios are a battleground for people's disposition, their mental state. It makes people uncomfortable to know that there are sides and that there's a sort of in a minor way, it's a type of participation in a sort of conflict. And as we keep pushing boundaries in order to keep reaching for those buttons, it seems these consequences are inevitable. That the more severe the button that's pressed, the more controversial the response, and the more potential for conflict between individuals and their particular point of view. That big promotional bomb going off, it works. It tends to work. The viral stuff tends to work because it has those two competing points of view that come back to it to battle with one another and then further nurture all the algorithmic inputs and outputs through their behaviors, that the outrage itself or the liking of such a thing. I mean, you got Lil Nas X on his Twitter. He's dancing around. He's joking about it because he got the 46 million views to go with it. I just don't think a lot of people think about the fact that when they use their platform to talk about something that they don't like, they may be amplifying the thing that they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the part of it, but it's complex. I'm curious what's going to happen to MSCHF, what Nike's going to pull off here, what the implications of that are going to be for anybody in this sneaker business. And who knows, maybe when we get a hold of Brad Hall, because he's more intimately involved, presumably these sneaker guys have to maintain relationships with Nike themselves, which is another thought that came to my mind. Because they're probably getting sent new releases, early releases, and things like this.
Yeah.
Like Nike might be on a phone to Brad Hall's channel right now saying, yo, we want a disclaimer in the comments or in the description. Let's see. Maybe there is a disclaimer in the description. Nah, there's no disclaimer in the description.
Not yet.
I don't know. I'm saying, man. Anyway.
You should hit him up.
This is the type of thing. This is the type of thing I just think about too, I just go into it. And I try to imagine all those. I try to see it from all the sides if possible. Sure. I mean, it's hard to do it, but it's interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
The lawsuit is active.